Okay, I have to say at the top, the window's open and I smell weed. But I am here today with Morrissey and Girl Least Likely 2, legal in Canada, folks. But I have to say, this was requested like every, Morrissey song I react to nowadays, obviously. I mean, well, before that as well. Anyway, yeah, Girl Least Likely 2. I see a lot of great comments, people saying this is a very good song. So we're going to get into it, almost 5 minutes long, boys and girls. But let's get into it now, talk about it after. Let's go. Gotta jump.
How many times have I been around? Recycled papers paving the ground where she lives for the written word. And people come second or possibly third. And there is no style, but I say well done to the girl least likely to. Oh, deep in my heart, how I wish I was wrong. But deep in my heart, I know I am not. And there's enough gloom in her world, I'm certain, without my contribution. So I sit and I smile and I say well done to the girl least likely to. Page after page of sniping rage, an English singe or an American tinge. There's a publisher, she said, in the new year. It's never in this year. I do think this, but I can't admit it to the girl least likely to. So one more song with no technique, one more song which seems all wrong, and all the news is bad again. See me as I am again, and the scales of justice sway one way in the rooms of those least likely to. Oh, deep in my heart, how I want to be wrong, but the moods and the styles too frequently change. From 21 to 25, from 25 to 29, and I sit and I smile and I say well done to the girl least likely to. Oh, one more song about the Queen or standing around the shops with peas, but somebody's got to make it, she screams. So why can't it be me? But she would die if we heard her sing from the heart, which is hurt. So how many times will I shed a tear and another stage, a verse to cheer? When you shine in the public eye, my dear, please remember these
Okay, so Girl Least Likely To by Morrissey for Morrissey Friday, of course. I have to say at the top, I mean, like I said, that song, 4 minutes, 50 seconds. I don't know, until like the last, until the slick guitar there in the last like 25 seconds, Morrissey kind of just, sang like like the whole song. Like there's hardly any breaks in there, it seemed. He had a lot of, a lot of things to say. And of course, there's a few moments in there that you make me chuckle again. I don't know. And also I have to say there's something, that popped in my head during the song, which I don't know makes sense or not, but his voice sounded a little bit different to me. Almost, maybe, I don't even know what it was really, but I don't know. He was like wailing more or something. I don't know what it was, but it stuck out to me for a second, so I thought I'd share it. But yeah, it just maybe more clear. I don't know what it was, but it sounded different. But yeah, and anyway, and I mean the whole, like I said, the whole thing about, I guess, this girl who's trying to be an author, I guess you would say, not having too much, luck with that. But I will look at Genius like you usually do. Is there anything else I want to say before I do that? Of course, like I said, with the guitar work, obviously at the end there, just end off the song, and Morrissey just, just keeping my attention throughout the whole thing, for basically almost 5 minutes. Just like I said, it seemed like this song here, he was singing a lot, and it just kept saying things, and yeah, it was a good tune in my opinion, but again, that's hard, I have such a hard time, saying, oh, I hate this song. Because I don't know, it's just like every song I've heard, there's something that I like about it. And anyway, not that there's anything here to dislike really for me. I love the melody. Again, the lyricism here, from what I've heard anyway, was, just more, Moz, at his peak, I guess you would say, and peak Moz anyway. And just very enjoyable. Like I said, there was a jump to it right off the bat. I was just like, good Lord. Anyway. Like I said, I am on Genius, so there is an about, so I'll just read that like I usually do. So Girl Least Likely To was about a girl failing to become a successful writer. It was released as a bonus track on the reissue of edition of 1997. My God, reissue 1997 edition of Viva Hate. So again, from the kind of the Viva Hate era. And there's also one interesting thing here, which I like a lot. The musicians on the track were Kevin Armstrong on guitar. I don't know if I've recognized his name before. Usually it's Boz or Alan or something. Anyway, Andy Rourke is on bass here. Former Smiths member, of course, so I like that he's on here. And Andrew Parisi on drums. And again, I always talk about the guitarists, the drummers that Morrissey's had throughout his whole solo career thing. And each of them, I just, I don't know, I just like drummers. And I mean, all the people that have been on Morrissey's tunes, from Parisi to Cobber and whatever, it's just, I like a lot of them. Anyway, so just really enjoyed that, all of that. But again, looking at the lyricism here and looking at the lyrics, just to go through, because again, he said a lot of things and I didn't catch everything. But again, how many times have I been around? So just off the bat, I don't know what it is, but just like a line like that just makes me kind of smile when Morrissey says it. Anyway, how many times have I been around? It's just, I don't know, it just sounds like a Morrissey line. Recycled papers paving the ground. Well, she lives for the written word, and people come second or possibly third. Again, just this kind of lyricism that it's not really anything special, but it's just fun. I don't know. But there's annotations here, of course, which I'll read, because there's usually not too many annotations anymore on Morrissey songs, but there is on this one. Morrissey sings about a girl, and when I mean anymore, it's just like, more songs that aren't, his, most known, I guess. Anyway, Morrissey sings about a girl who shuns social interaction in favor of her passion for literature. He sometimes replaced She Lives For with We Live For when performing the song in 1992 on the 1992 tour of Your Arsenal. The scenario seems partially inspired by Morrissey's pre-Smiths days. He did odd jobs and claimed unemployment benefits during this time, but he loved books, and his main goal was to become a professional writer. And I have to say, from my perspective, my life as well, I did want to be a writer at one point as well. But that, not really worked out, really, maybe. I don't know, maybe not yet, but anyway, so young. And there is no style, but I say, well done to the girl least likely to. Oh, deep in my heart, how I wished I was wrong. But deep in my heart, I know I'm not. I just, again, just I love this. And there's nothing, there's enough gloom in her world, I'm certain, without my contribution. I didn't catch all of that when I was listening to it. Again, I just like how he's saying, I wish I was wrong about everything, but, in my heart, I know I'm not. But I don't want to say anything, because I don't want to add on to, her, failures. Oh, God. Anyway, there's an annotation for this. He compliments the girl in her work because they are friends and because he wants to be supportive of his friends, not because he actually believes in her ability. I just like this situation. He doesn't have the heart to tell her that he doesn't think her work is good enough. He thinks that because she has invested her whole life into her passion, it would be too painful for her to hear. I just love it. Makes me chuckle. I don't know. I just love that. Again, in the most Morrissey way of saying this, without my contribution, whatever. It's just the way he words the lyrics. Anyway, a wordsmith. My goodness. So I sit and I smile and say, well done. I just like this. It's like when, a flashback of when in SpongeBob, when Patrick listens to Squidward play the clarinet, and then he falls asleep, but he's trying to be supportive, but everyone knows Squidward's not good at the clarinet. Anyway, that's an aside, but that's what comes to mind for something like this. Anyway, to the girl he's likely to. Page after page of sniping rage, an English singe or an American tinge. There's a publisher, she said, in the new year. It's never in this year. So again, there's another annotation here to read. She knows it's going to happen someday, but the day just never arrives. She has difficulty getting published, even though she believes it will happen. She thinks she needs a little bit longer to wait. That goes on. There's a sense of a lot of time is moving. They're on these lines, and the context Morrissey can identify, or my goodness, Morrissey can confidently say it's never in this year because he's been her friend for a long time now, and she's been trying hard for a long time now, using the same excuse year after year. That next year will be my year, kind of me as a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. Anyway, and it goes on, in the scales of justice sway one way, in the rooms of those least likely to. Oh, deep in my heart, how I want to be wrong. But the moods and styles too frequently change from 21 to 25, from 25 to 29. So I heard the numbers here, but I didn't really know what was going on. But the annotation here, the girl is preserving for many years, still dedicating her life to her passion and trying new things, but all is futile so far. She has never found a style that works and that she can master. Instead, she grows older as Morrissey watches on. So yeah, again, nothing's happening, it just keeps going on. She keeps aging. Doesn't look like this is going to happen. Then there's the whole thing, one more song about the Queen or standing around the shops with thieves, but somebody's got to make it, she screams. So why can't that be me? And I mean, obviously here you're just feeling the, the frustration. I put a G at the end of frustration first. And you're just feeling, obviously the hurt, the pain she's feeling, just like, why can't it be me? I have skills, don't I? And Morrissey's kind of saying, he knows that there's not really, she's probably not going to make it. And then, so how many times will I shed a tear in another stage of verse to cheer? When you shine in the public eye, my dear, please remember these nights when I sit and support you with a doleful smile because there's nothing I can say. So then I think this is the last annotation possibly. Anyway, he feigns superficial enthusiasm, putting on a smile, cheering and reassuring that she's going to make it. However, he can't provide any specific critique of her work because he doesn't have anything positive to say about it. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, that kind of thing there. And of course, the outro here, might as well read that too. There's a different mood all over the world, a different youth, unfamiliar views, and dearest, it could all be for you. So will you come down and I'll meet you, and with no more poems, with nothing to hear, oh darling, it's all for you, darling, it's all for you, and then it goes on. But again, I just, I love the this concept, this way of how Morrissey came up with this song, of how a girl who can't get published, how a girl who thinks she's talented with obviously she thinks she's a good writer, she thinks she can get published, and she's just like, why isn't it happening? But next year will be my year. Next year, yeah, there we go. And of course, Morrissey's just he's biting his tongue and saying, and he knows it's probably not going to work. But and I mean, yeah, you have friends like that, and it's just like, you don't want to be a dick. You don't want to say like, you have a friend who's a writer, whatever, who's trying to do something, and you're just like, yeah, I don't know if that's going to work for you, whatever. Maybe your friend's a comedian, I've had that before, or trying to be a music artist, and it's just like, I don't know. Or even if your friend's a YouTube person who puts videos on YouTube, and people, my friends don't want to say, this isn't going to work for you, Nick. But anyway, just that kind of stuff. But you don't want to be mean to them. You just, you don't want to just be nice. But anyway, it's train going by or something. Anyway, but yeah, I just love the concept, love the melody. Like I said, I mean, again, the lyricism is always on point. It seems like he puts so much work, and especially into this one, like I said, he had so much to say, so many verses in here. And I just like the whole thing, the girl least likely to. And it's a sad kind of story, obviously, for her. But I mean, just, gotta have that passion, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna work. But anyway, I really enjoyed this one. This was fun. Made me laugh a lot, which is always good, and I appreciate that. So anyway, yeah, so another Morrissey Friday in the books, and I'll say thanks for watching, thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all that stuff. Really appreciate all of the support, and I really do. And so anyway, I'll talk to you guys again soon. Thanks for watching, and yeah, have a good one wherever you are.